Hey y'all, this is Jessica with Bless Your Heart. Let's glitter some phone grips today. I just got some basic white phone grips from the glitter guy, and my glitter choices today are going to be the glitter guy Vintage, Baroque, and Cosmic. I'm going to go in and mix Baroque and Vintage, and we're going to adhere all of our glitter with UV resin today. This is going to be our sand layer. We're going to do a little beach theme phone grip here, but first we're going to prep our phone grip. We are going to sand it lightly with just a sanding block, and then I'm going to clean it all up with some alcohol and a paper towel. Once we're done with that, we're going to go in and add just a little bit of UV resin to the actual glitter. I'm going to use a metal stir stick and just kind of stir this all together, and then I'm going to place it with this stick onto the actual phone grip. After that's placed how I want it, I'm going to cure it under my UV lamp, and I'm going to cure it for about 2 minutes. But the general rule with UV resin is you want to cure it until it is no longer tacky to the touch. Once we're happy with our sand portion, we're going to go in and do the exact same thing. I'm going to pour a little bit of Cosmic into a medicine cup, a little bit of UV resin. I'm going to use the same stick, stir all that glitter up, and I'm going to place it on the top of the grip and not all the way down to the sand in the majority of the space. Once you're happy with the glitter placement, go ahead and cure all this. Again, I did it for about 2 minutes. Then we're going to go in and make our waves. I'm going to use some white epoxy dye in just a little bit of this UV resin, and I'm going to put the smallest little bit of clear resin where the two glitters meet, and that's just going to give us something to go over so we get almost like a lacing effect. I'm going to use the little bit of this white epoxy dye and then spread it out on the bottom side of that clear epoxy I just put on. And then I'm going to use a straw to blow it up so it looks like it's waving into the blue. And then I'm just going to maneuver or manipulate my actual phone grip until it all kind of waves where I want it to. Up, down, however you want it to wave. And then I'm going to cure it under my lamp. This one I did for about 3 minutes just because I wanted to make sure everything was dry. Now we're going to put just a very thin layer of UV resin on here just to kind of seal that white epoxy dye in after we've cured it, because we're going to go in after this and we're going to do a little sanding, and we want to make sure that we're not sanding down into our glitter or into our epoxy dye so we don't scuff up what we don't want to scuff up. After that's nice and cured, I'm going to go in and pop my phone grip out, and I'm just going to move the actual phone grip on top of my little sanding block until it is as smooth as I can get it. I'm going to wipe it down, and I'm going to put one thin layer of UV resin over the entire thing. Let it cure. I cure this for about 3 minutes just to make everything nice and sealed and dry, and then we're going to see what we got. And this is what we look like after that final layer of UV resin. So I'm going to keep going and make a couple of more of these. For this next one, I'm going to use the Glitter Guy Fairest Opal of them all. I'm going to take out one of these white cast decal sticker things. They're printed on white ink, so it will show up. I'm going to cut out the little flower I picked out, and then I'm going to prep my phone grip and get ready for the next step. Most of these steps are pretty much rinse and repeat. So we're going to pour some glitter into this little medicine cup with a little bit of UV resin, stir it up, and we're going to spread it out over the actual phone grip and get it underneath the UV lamp to cure, and we're going to move on to the next step. Once that layer of UV resin is dry, we're going to move on to our sticker. And like I said, these are printed on white ink, so it's going to be really nice and vibrant. And we're going to center it as best as possible. And then we're going to get a layer of UV resin over this sticker to seal it in. Once that's nice and dry, if you have any sanding you need to do, go ahead and do that now. This one didn't require a whole lot of sanding, but it did a little bit just to kind of, there's a couple of little waves that I didn't really appreciate, so I sanded that off, cleaned it up, and then I just put one more thin layer of UV resin, and I cured this entire thing for about 3 minutes. And here's what this one looks with that final layer of epoxy. So let's make one more of these. I'm going to go in and use West Texas Glitter Chocolate Lab for my glitter, and I'm going to pull out another white cast decal. This one is from Peachy Olive Glitters, and I'm going to use this little hearts right here. So I'm going to get them cut out, and I'm going to get ready to glitter the phone grip. Same as before, a little bit of glitter, a little bit of UV resin. We're going to stir that up, and we're going to go full coverage on the surface of this phone grip. When that's nice and dry, let's put our little decal on here, these cute little bitty hearts. We're going to center this as best as we can, and then we're going to get a layer of UV resin over all of this, and we're going to check out our handiwork. This one did not need any sanding at all. It was nice and smooth. And here we go. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me today. I hope to see you again soon. Bye.